Testy, testy. Good morning. Testicles, testicles. It is currently 5:14 a.m. in Brisbane City, Australia. Something big has happened over on not Twitch politics. It's well, I don't know. Well, whatever's happening on Twitch right now, in regards to Dr. K. It's getting spicy, I guess. And now he's like actually admitting to what is happening around him in regards to the topic of ethics, what he does as a psychiatrist and a streamer on Twitch. So I'm just gonna watch this for a bit until people start coming in.
Diagnostic process involves a lot of different stuff. So it involves taking a history of present illness, which includes like a symptom assessment. So what are the things that you're experiencing? It includes things like duration, frequency, severity of symptoms. So how long have you been experiencing this? You know, how often does it happen? How bad is it? What are the character of the symptoms you experience? In addition to the HPI, we also assess medical history. So do you have any other medical conditions? Have you had any other psychiatric conditions? Have you ever been hospitalized? Have you ever had surgery before? So there are lots of different things that you collect for the medical history. The next thing that we sort of collect is we'll collect things like substance use history. So do you use substances? We'll ask questions about your social history. So where do you live? What do you do? Are you sexually active? What are your relationships like? Is there any chance you have an STI? And yes, I do ask each and every one of my patients, whether they're 13 years old or 85 years old, about their sexual history because it's standard of care for physicians. Other things include family history. So has anyone in your family ever been hospitalized? Does anyone in your family have medical conditions? And y'all may sort of recognize this kind of stuff because if you go to a doctor's office, they're gonna give you a bunch of forms that you fill out. And we don't ask any of those questions on stream, right? So people may volunteer some information kind of from a narrative perspective about what their upbringing was like, but we do not do diagnostic assessments on stream. Other parts of the diagnostic assessment include laboratory testing and imaging. Sometimes I'll order MRIs of the brain. Sometimes I'll order lab tests. So the process of diagnosis is actually very, very specific. It's not something that, it's not just like you ask a couple of questions and then you sort of suddenly have a diagnosis. The other thing to consider about the diagnostic process, which is standard of care, is also a differential diagnosis. So it is actually not enough for me to ask all of those questions. As a doctor, the practice of medicine constitutes developing a differential diagnosis. So if someone comes in with symptoms of depression, I also have to assess them for bipolar disorder. I also have to assess them for schizoaffective disorder. I also have to assess them for a substance-induced mood disorder, which in the practice of medicine, we absolutely do. So what I'm gonna do, just to show y'all, is take a quick look at the diagnostic criteria for major depressive disorder. So as we can see, the interview should establish the presence of depressive symptoms, depressed mood most of the day, loss of interest or pleasure in most or all activities, insomnia, hypersomnia, significant weight loss or weight gain, psychomotor retardation or agitation, fatigue or low energy, decreased ability to concentrate, think, or make decisions, thoughts of worthlessness or excessive or inappropriate guilt, recurrent thoughts of death or suicidal ideation or a suicide attempt. Depressed mood that occurs most of the day, more days than not, and is persistent and lasts for at least 2 weeks. We also have to go on, so that it just keeps going, right? So we have to determine the chronology of the current depressive symptoms, any prior history of depressive episodes, determine the impact of the depressive episode, elicit alleviating and aggravating factors, and address comorbidities. Include questions about a past history of mania or hypomania. So this is actually the standard that we're talking about. And like, I don't know how else to say this, but we don't do that on stream because that's what constitutes the practice of medicine. Remember, once...
What did I miss? Isn't that what he did with Wreckful? Well, anyways, hey. You need a decent what? Oh, decent stream. Okay. Yeah, Betty, this is Dr. K, a psychiatrist who is trying to spread the message of a self-care, mental health. He's been doing streams for over I forgot how many years. Not during pandemic, it's before pandemic. And right now there's a streamer, no, there's a YouTuber that is currently trying to, I guess, I don't want to say take him down, because that's not what he's trying to do. He's trying to revoke this doctor's license because he was doing something unethical, according to this guy's perspective. Alright, so Zach, welcome back in. Right, Zach knows a bit, right, of what's going on. The response so far is very it's very look over there kind of message right now.
Again, if we're doing therapy on stream, then we have to adhere to the standards of therapy. How do we define therapy? It's part of the practice of medicine. What is the practice of medicine? These are the standards of care in terms of diagnosing someone with major depressive disorder. And the simple fact is that we don't do any of that, right? I don't do thorough symptomatic assessments. I don't assess frequency, severity, duration. Some of these things may come up in the course of stream, but that is not actually constituting a diagnosis. The next thing that I want to point out.
Wait. Hold on. I don't understand. I can't form the question properly. There's things wrong with what he just said.
Is for people who think, okay, do I diagnose things on stream? I don't. And so let me actually show you. So someone talking about their depression does not actually constitute diagnosis. Here are what actual diagnoses are. So this is from the ICD-11. So this is the International Classification of Disease. So this is an international consensus about what constitutes diagnosis. So when I'm seeing a patient in my office, I will actually diagnose them with one of these things: recurrent depressive disorder, current episode mild, or current episode moderate without psychotic symptoms, with psychotic symptoms, severe with psychotic symptoms, in partial remission, in full remission. These are actual diagnoses. We do not tell people on stream that they have these. We do not ask diagnostic questions to the extent of what is necessary for major depressive disorder. So depression is not a diagnosis. Anxiety is not a diagnosis. Anxiety is an emotion. The actual diagnoses are things like generalized anxiety disorder, socialized anxiety disorder induced by a
So it's a
substance,
technicality?
unspecified anxiety disorder. Those are actually diagnoses, and we do not assign those labels to anyone on stream. What about treatment? So treatment is also something where it involves a standard of care. So the standard of care for psychotherapy, because a lot of people are wondering whether I do something, what I do on stream is psychotherapy or not. Let's talk about what constitutes the standard of care of psychotherapy. So when a therapist is working with a patient, what do we expect from them? What can patients expect? And what are what are therapists responsible for delivering? So a good example of the foundation of a psychotherapeutic treatment is something called a treatment plan. So this is a treatment plan that I just kind of wrote up. It's a fake treatment plan. These are the kinds of treatment plans that I develop for my patients. So, they'll have the name, date of birth, things like that. But then
Okay, so Betty, the issue is this doctor's this doctor is trying to clarify that what he does on stream when he interviews another person, another streamer, on stream is not a therapy. But the way he conducts himself is very doctor-like, and the entire stream also almost feels like a therapy because I don't know if it's because of force of habit or man, I'm not sure like what is going on, to be honest, in these interviews. It does feel like therapy though, and most of the time the other side, the receiving end of the interview, does confuse these interviews with therapies often. Hi Wedge, welcome back in. This is a nice stream to fall asleep to, I'd say. Currently waiting on Wave. So yeah, he's trying to explain how it's not diagnosis, but from what I can hear, it does feel like what's a good example? Like let's say a dog ate your homework, right? But you don't want to say that the dog ate your homework to the teacher. So instead of saying that, you could say, what happened was the dog didn't eat the homework. He just happened to feel hungry and saw pieces of paper and he just saw red. That's what he sounds like to me. He's not denying, but at the same time, he's not saying that he did it. Ugh, man. Aka, welcome back in. Good morning. From Australia. Zach is saying the people break down on stream because of him and he knows it's unethical, but he dodges the legal shit. Yeah, he's definitely trained to avoid, saying the wrong things. Benny needs a counselor. I could use a counselor too, to be honest. If I wasn't so worried like about all the other, small nonsense. Yeah, I would actually go to a counselor. Yeah, Zach is saying He gets people to revisit trauma and does nothing for content. I think with why am I trying to avoid? Yeah, Wreckful. Yeah, with Wreckful as well. It's a little weird how it turned out. If therapy wasn't his goal, then the conversation is really weird. Yeah. But he was diagnosed with shit, but they refused to give me any help. Why is that? Wait, the doctor diagnosed you but didn't offer extension of care? Hi, Psycho Babe. Welcome back in. Hello, hello. It is a stream time for me. Currently listening to a doctor explain himself.
Have the first diagnosis. And so this
Hi,
is
hey.
actually what I do in clinical practice. Treatment plans include things like psychopharmacology. Are they taking medicine?
Mm-hmm.
Are we doing some kind of evidence-based psychotherapy? What are the goals of the psychotherapy? What other kinds of things are we doing for health and wellness? So for example, sometimes as part of treatment plans, I'll include mindfulness practice. What's the second diagnosis? What's the state of the second diagnosis? What are we doing for it? Okay, this person had an alcohol problem, but I'm currently not prescribing anything. By the
So
way, they
you're-
benefited from naltrexone in the past.
Hold on, sorry. You're up to date, right? Of what's going on?
Psychotherapy can also be psychotherapy for the second diagnosis, and part of the
Right,
treatment
so
plan
he's
is to go
throwing
to
us the
Alcoholics Anonymous.
textbook.
The third diagnosis is going to be PTSD for this person. So there's medications I'm prescribing, but they're also seeing a different therapist for doing a different evidence-based treatment modality. There's also different kinds of peer support, and there's a medical diagnosis thrown in. So this is an example of what an actual treatment plan is like. When you perform therapy with a patient, this is what therapy actually looks like. I'll show you just another sort of generic example of what a treatment plan, this is just something I found on the internet. But once again, this diagnostic system is kind of a little bit outdated. So this is from DSM-4, so we've kind of updated this. But the key thing here is, once again, there's a principal diagnosis. There's a diagnosis that's assigned. There's a duration of diagnosis. There are functional deficits that are mentioned. What's issue number one? What's goal number one? What's objective number one? What's task number one? What's task number two? What's area number two? What's issue number two? What's goal number two? This is what constitutes an actual treatment plan. So when...
Bruh. All you're doing is just shuffling the steps. Oh god. I don't understand. Oh man. I like the guy though. I like Dr. K though. It's just his explanation right now is this may sound a little weird. His explanation may sound a little weird. Alright, sorry. So people who are not up to date, there's a crowd of people saying Dr. K's live streams and interviews are unethical because it resembles therapy and his license should go, is what people are saying. Like, his license should be revoked as a doctor because he's conducting a therapy-like interview publicly, like talking about digging into people's trauma, and there's really no aftercare. So that's what's going on. I'm not trying to research. This was uploaded 3 hours ago and I just woke up and I really wanted to watch it. It's just I needed to stream as well around this time. So I thought maybe we could just, sit together. That's what's going on right now. Yeah. Hey is saying he addressed that before. He just talks with people about their feelings. People need to grow up a bit, right? It's just there's so many contexts before this. There's a YouTuber who is like very upset about what Dr. K does on live stream, and he has a point. So it's a little hard to defend Dr. K right now. I just wanted him to explain himself, and this is what's happening, and I love for that. I love for this to be happening. It's just so far it's looking a little yikes at the moment. He's very You know what? Let's form an opinion after it though. Yeah. So, hey, continues. Imagine sitting together and experiencing the same thing. Maybe that YouTuber should do an interview with Dr. K. I don't know if... I think he is willing though. I don't know if Dr. K wants to. Yeah. Man. I like Dr. K's content because sometimes or most of the time I relate to what some of these streamers are going through with their personal life, right? Not as a streamer, obviously. I'm not that big, but being able to have myself sit in their chair, right? Like seeing their perspective and how similar it is to me makes me feel like I am receiving that therapy. That's what it feels like to me, right? Um yeah, go for it, Aka. Go for it. Yeah, Wave is coming on, I think. If Wave is around. I don't know if he's working right now, but he said Sunday and American Sunday is Australian Monday, so we'll see. We'll see if he turns up. Hmm. Yeah, I don't hate the guy. I don't hate Dr. K. I enjoy his stuff. Yeah. But he says, have you ever wanted to slap a bitch? Like every inch of my body wants to slap a bitch, right? I saw what you typed. I haven't responded yet. I wanna know. You wanna talk about it? You can talk about it right now. Right, we're just saying I like Dr. K. I don't see much of a problem with what he does. Right. So a YouTuber called Mr. Girl has released a I don't know if you should call it documentary, but it's like an hour long interviews with like other psychiatrists that explains why this is a bad thing, and they do make a point. Mm. Yeah, Betty, you're welcome to talk about it. He's saying, I forgot the timestamp, but Dr. K said something interesting about this topic of expertise and therapy standards during his interview with Sasha Grey. Sasha Grey, huh? I'll listen to that while I'm working. Yeah. Yeah, I should check that out. Yeah. The short version is that somewhere in there, Dr. K says that we all need to talk about our emotion with each other more, and I think he promotes that really well. It's just that's why I said maybe it's like a force of habit or something, but he does go through these criteria though with some of the streamers, and I don't think he realizes it's like the body knows what to do but the brain thinks it's not doing it. That's what I feel like with this explanation here.
And you perform therapy on someone, you're doing all of this stuff, right? So this kind of comes down to, like, do we do therapy on stream? And the answer is absolutely not. And the reason we're able to say that is because therapy is actually very, very tightly regulated, right? It's not a matter of opinion. It's just because Dr. K believes we're not doing therapy doesn't mean that we're not doing therapy. When we set out, we designed stream with these considerations in mind. So when I thought about, okay, what am I allowed to do on stream? What is ethically and legally appropriate to do on stream? The main conclusion is I'm not allowed to practice medicine on stream. Even then, there may be some theoretical situations in which that's possible, but generally speaking, that's the main dividing line. So everything we do on stream is not the practice of clinical medicine. In order to sort of figure out what is okay on stream, we can define what the practice of clinical medicine is, or understand the definitions. That's not something we define. That's something that we exhaustively looked up by looking through, hundreds of pages of medical ethics documents, state laws, federal laws, regulations, licensing board things, ethics, opinions on ethics from the American Medical Association, the American Psychiatric Association, and what we sort of decided to do on stream is actually clearly outside of those things. The other simple gut check that I have for y'all is when you go to a doctor's office, how similar is it to what happens on stream? And the short answer is like not at all, right? Because doctors are practicing clinical medicine. And what we're doing on stream is having conversations about mental health. We do not enter into a doctor-patient relationship. We do not diagnose people with medical illnesses, and we do not treat them for medical illnesses. Psychotherapy is governed and regulated, and the ethical standards around psychotherapists are under the broader umbrella of clinical practice, right? So you are not allowed to engage in a romantic relationship with your doctor. You are not allowed to engage in a romantic relationship with your psychotherapist. You are not allowed to, as a therapist, violate your patient's privacy. The legal protections that we have constitute protections from a doctor-patient relationship, and we don't enter...
Wait, that makes it sound so much worse. What you're doing is not therapy. Okay, so doesn't that mean wait, Dr. K saying It's not therapy because the proper steps has not been followed. But doesn't that mean he's just leaving it halfway? Wait, what? Maybe I should listen till the end. Yeah. Hi Flakes, hi Ivy, welcome back in. The lighting is perfect. I don't know what you mean. Wave, welcome back in. Hello, are you ready? Would you like to discuss or have a conversation? Right? What's this? But he's saying we cooked 2 pizzas to share between 3 of us. The sister gave me 1 slice and then shared the rest between her and her boyfriend because I clearly don't need. Okay. Right. Right. So that's what happened. Are you hangry right now? And Wedge was saying movie night happens in 30 minutes. Nobody gave me a time. What's with that? What's with that? Huh? Nobody gave me time of when it begins. And I already had this thing going on Monday. Oh, Haz is back. Welcome back in. Like I said, it's good to see you, Wave. Finally, some good fucking content. I mean, I wouldn't fuck to, Wave's interview, but whatever floats your boat, Aka. Whatever floats your boat. Weird. Fucking content, huh? I don't think I listen to any content while I'm fucking. Alright, so Flakes is trying to boil water. Haz is saying, what? You are the oldest and least important, 5 of us? Okay. I was gonna say. Understandable. It's okay. Yeah, you guys enjoy. Alright, Wave. Is Wave ready?
Into that, we don't diagnose people, and we don't.
Wave is saying yes. Okay, sorry. Okay, an hour of Wave, everybody. An hour of Wave, and we can continue this later on. Because Wave is more important. Wave's time is more important. Actually, Wave, can we negotiate? Can I finish this video? I just can't and not right now. I really want to know. Right, so Aka thinks I'm gross when he makes the joke most of the time. The joke. Flake says, I thought the person who told you it was happening, I would have mentioned a time. Well, look in the secret. Right. So yes, Wave is willing. Thank you very much. Sorry.
Actually, is why do people think that what we do on stream is therapy, right? So where does this idea come from? What do we actually do on stream? And are there any overlaps with therapy? So it's a really good question because I don't think most people, like we sort of mentioned, most people haven't studied medical ethics. They don't really understand the definition of the practice of medicine. They're not trained in diagnosis. They're not trained in developing treatment plans or doing psychotherapy. So where do they get this idea that what we do on stream is therapy? So it's a really good question. So what we do on stream is we have conversations with people that are about their mental health, and I use some skills. So I'm a very good listener, for example. I'm very good at asking questions. I'm very knowledgeable about things. So I'll build some amount of an alliance with the person that I'm talking to. I'll be a very active listener, and I'll ask very insightful questions. So sometimes people think that that constitutes therapy, whereas no, that doesn't constitute therapy. So I'll just think about this for a second. There are other professions outside of therapists that do these things. So who builds an alliance very quickly with the person that they're talking to? Who makes very empathic statements and tries to help people open up? FBI hostage negotiators, right? Even customer service representatives. If you've been on a talked to a customer service representative recently, you may have noticed that they do some of the skills that are, generally speaking, what we think of from therapy, right? They'll make like very empathic statements. Oh, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. So this is like really important to understand, but just because I'm a very good listener and just because I'm very good at like asking questions and making observations and reading body language, that is not what actually constitutes therapy. In fact, these are skills that are used by all kinds of people. So executives, for example, will get like interpersonal training and training in relationships and communication. So these are skills, like communication skills between people, are things that I absolutely do on stream, but I don't do anything medical on stream. And oftentimes, because people don't recognize or understand what constitutes the practice of clinical medicine, which isn't really a problem because you're not going to learn that unless you go to medical school or you engage in some other kind of clinical education, it can look like what you imagine therapy is. Because what do you imagine therapy is? It's like what you see based on media and TV shows and stuff like that. Whereas the truth is that the practice of clinical medicine is completely different. So there may be like, even though I've sort of made a very strong case, and like I said, we sort of set stream up to be outside the bounds of the practice of clinical medicine and therapy, there's still maybe some kind of confusion there. So like, what if you kind of make the argument, for example, that even though I'm a medical doctor and I'm not entering into a doctor-patient relationship, I'm not diagnosing anyone with anything, and I'm not providing treatment plans, right? So I'm not doing psychotherapy, I'm not providing medications or anything like that. I'm still a medical professional who is like listening empathically, which sometimes is done in therapy. So therapists are absolutely empathic listeners. So if I'm a medical doctor, am I allowed to empathically listen to someone and ask someone insightful questions? Or is that something that I'm no longer allowed to do except with my patients? And that's kind of like absurd, because the answer is clearly I'm allowed to do that with people without entering into a doctor-patient relationship. So for example, I do that with my kids, I do that with my wife, I do that with my friends. When human beings talk to me, I try to be an empathic, active listener. When human beings talk to me, I try to ask insightful questions to help them out.
No, the issue is that you dig. That is the problem, isn't it? It's that you make them open up about themselves, and then you just leave them like like a one night stand. You fuck them and leave. That's what's happening in the interview, isn't it? Am I wrong? I like to think I'm wrong. I like Dr. K. I don't know. I don't know what I'm hearing right now. I like the guy. I like the guy. I like the guy. I like the guy. Right, so in about 20 minutes, right? Yeah, I'll interview Wave. I will join. Don't worry. I'm a Japanese. I understand Japanese. Okay, Animal Crossing movie. I'll be able to, catch what's going on right away. Don't worry. And I'll check out what I've missed. Okay? Don't worry.
If a friend of mine is going through a breakup, I'm going to sort of, listen to them very carefully. I'm going to sort of maybe even get emotional with them. We'll sort of have a good cry together. And then I may sort of ask some questions or volunteer some information or teach them how to meditate. Just because something happens within a therapeutic relationship does not mean that it is therapy when it happens outside of a therapeutic relationship. So just to kind of reiterate that, like, if you really think about it, like, if that were true, if I weren't allowed to have emotional conversations with other people, like, I couldn't interact with other human beings in an empathic way. And this is what's sort of brilliant about the way that clinical medicine is defined, because it's defined about what's the goal, right? Is it diagnosis or treatment? If yes, then it's clinical medicine. If no, then it's not clinical medicine. So there are other things besides communication skills, which can be, taught as part of clinical medicine or used as part of clinical medicine, but aren't technically clinical medicine. So I'll give you all a couple of examples. So as a physical therapist, if you're a good physical therapist, you'll teach your patients to stretch. Does that mean that stretching is a part of physical therapy? Sort of, but is it exclusive to physical therapy? No. So if you go to a personal trainer who's a non-clinical person, they're allowed to teach people how to stretch as well. Then the next question kind of becomes, is a physical therapist allowed to teach people who are not their patients how to stretch? Absolutely, right? So if I'm a physical therapist and on weekends I have a CrossFit group, and at the very beginning of the CrossFit group I teach people how to stretch, even though it's a part of my clinical practice that I engage in it, it's not exclusively a clinical activity, so I'm allowed to do it with random people if I want to. Another good example of this is meditation. So meditation is something that's been shown to have a clinical benefit. So as a doctor, I will teach meditation to my patients. Does that mean that if I teach meditation to someone outside of my doctor-patient relationship, that I am their doctor or practicing medicine? Absolutely not. One of my mentors is a Zen priest, and they teach their patients how to meditate. And on the weekends, they go to the Zen temple and they teach students how to meditate. That does not mean, just because something can exist within therapy, does not mean that doing that thing outside of therapy, like listening well, being a decent human being, and asking good questions, makes it the practice of therapy. The last thing that I'll say is that this is also very clearly defined. So in the practice of clinical...
Hold on, before we continue on, because, we're crossing that bookmark there. Bookmark, what do you call them? The chapters, right? Right, so Betty doesn't care, Akka doesn't care. Akka was saying, I said no one cares before pretty much, but I've given up. Mikey will continue. So unfortunately, I get counted into one of those no ones. I understand. It's okay. Everybody shares different interests. Hey is saying he could be having an emotional impact on them that you think is wrong without it being an abuse of his therapy license, though. It all is a perspective right now, isn't it? Until it's proven to be a malpractice. Hey, saying, so they're allowed to teach, for example, stretching, but should they? Yeah, Has and Flakes can't keep up. I understand. I'm trying to get it done before 6 o'clock so that I can get Wave in. Right? Akalaka was saying something before, right? He's allowed to make them open up, isn't he? It's good content. You know what, though? I actually like that about the interview. Like, where they go, like, really deep. But in my head, I thought they got asked consent or something to do this. Apparently not. It's pretty spontaneous. Yeah, Akko is saying, I think he shouldn't brand himself as doctor, etc. Feels like he's using that authority on one hand. On the other hand, he hides behind, ooh, I'm just asking questions, a normal conversation. Aside from that, I'm cool with it. Right. Oh, I'm a bad streamer now. I just wanna check this out. Okay, it's tickling my curiosity. It's tickling me in the curiosity. Balls. You thought I wouldn't say it. Yeah, so hey, you saying Dr. K has said before they had discussion beforehand about the limits of their convo, right? I wonder what part of that is just overstepping. Alright, so yeah, wait. See, Wave is willing to wait. Haz can't keep up because he's an American, and Dom and Flakes can't keep up because she's been influenced too much by the aforementioned dumb American. Right, understandable. It's okay. It's okay. Flakes, this is not old people shit. This is like... This is about mental health. This is about a doctor fucking people mentally. and just leaving them in their demise. That's what's going on right now. No, I'm lighting this in a very ill light. No, I'm sure he has great intentions, right, Dr. K? I feel like he doesn't notice what he's doing though. That's what I feel like.
Clinical medicine, there are some things that are exclusively clinical medicine, and those are very tightly regulated. And I am not actually allowed to do those things outside of a doctor-patient relationship. So the simple example is...
sorry. Yeah, Zach was saying, if you're trained for CPR and someone needs CPR legally, I think you have to. Yeah. Oh, did you say something before that? Oh, hi Annie, welcome back. Sorry about the late welcome. I'm currently checking something out. Yeah. But is it CPR? Oh, are ads happening? Rest in peace. It's okay, it's okay.
Prescribe controlled medication. So prescribing medication is exclusive to the practice of clinical medicine. So I can't prescribe Adderall or opiates to my wife. That is actually considered unethical. I cannot do particular things. I cannot diagnose or treat my wife. I cannot...
Oh, Zach. Right, so everybody calm down. everybody chill for a bit. Okay? Relax. Yeah, it has been a year since you've joined, I think. Annie? Yeah, welcome back in. Haz is spicy right now. Haz is being very spicy.
Diagnose or treat my friend. In fact, that is a very, very important ethical boundary which we respect at HG. Once we have a relationship with someone that is a non-clinical relationship, we don't cross that line. So this is really, really important to understand because there are some things that therapists may do, but those are not exclusively the practice of medicine. And even as a medical provider, I'm allowed to do those things with like ordinary people without it being the practice of medicine, right? So just like the physical therapist who can teach someone to stretch, just because it's a part of their practice doesn't make it exclusively clinical practice. And there are clear lines about what's exclusively the practice of clinical medicine, and we don't do those things with anyone on stream. So the next thing that I want to talk a little bit about is the actual stream process. So how does someone come on stream? What are the protections that we use? What are the standards that we hold to? And so this is where there's another really important part that I want to talk about, which is kind of an ethical standard that we hold ourselves to, which is informed consent. So before people come on stream, they meet with a producer, and the producer sort of lays out with them what stream is, what's allowed, what's not allowed. We make it very clear to them that this is not the practice of medicine, that Dr. K is not your doctor, and we make sure that they agree to that. So we go through an informed consent process. So if there's any confusion there, or they're looking for some kind of medical advice, that's where things end, right? So we inform them, and then we go through the consent process. And this is where the ethical principle of autonomy comes up. So we at HG believe that a human being, an adult, who wants to come onto the internet and voluntarily talk to someone about their mental health should be able to. We believe that human beings should have the autonomy to make their own decisions. So out of respect of that autonomy, we want to make things very crystal clear. So we have conversations with them. We also give them the opportunities to set boundaries on anything that they don't want to talk about. So this is not something where once they come on stream, they're also allowed to set boundaries in the middle of stream if they want to. But they're allowed to say, hey, I don't want to talk about this on stream. I don't want to mention this on stream. I don't want to mention this on stream. So what we essentially do is go through a rigorous informed consent process where we explain very clearly this is not a doctor-patient relationship, and we make sure that they're on the same page. If there's any confusion there, we either resolve that confusion or we sort of stop, right? Because we are not going to practice clinical medicine on stream. So here at HG, we actually hold ourselves to a very high ethical standard, despite the fact that we are not engaging in clinical activity. So on stream, I don't practice therapy because it's very clearly defined, right? So remember that therapy is part of the subset of the practice of clinical medicine, which is why you get doctor-patient privileges, there are ethical guidelines around your therapist, et cetera, et cetera. And remember that the practice of clinical medicine is clearly defined as having three components. The bread is entry into the doctor-patient relationship. That's how it starts. The sauce is diagnosis, and the cheese is treatment. And since we do none of those things, we're not practicing clinical medicine, and we're not doing psychotherapy with people on stream. At the same time, we hold ourselves to a couple of really high standards. So the first example that I'll give y'all, and this is in many dimensions of our company and our work, but the first is research. So for example, for all of our research studies, we submit them to something called an independent review board, or an IRB. So there's a third-party organization which is not affiliated with us at all, and when we want to do research, we'll take our research study and we'll pass it to the IRB, and we'll say, hey, we would like to do this research on human subjects. Will you please evaluate it and tell us if it is in alignment with ethical principles? And the IRB is essentially, they were developed kind of after people did predatory research on human subjects, and so we've actually had 5 independent reviews of our research, and a 6th that's ongoing for another study that we're doing, that have all sort of met an independently reviewed ethical criteria. So we got the green light from an institutional review board,
so this is
third-party
business.
kind of
Yep.
ethical organization that approves the research that we do. So the other thing that we hold ourselves to a high standard to is being responsive to feedback. So here at HG, we're sort of in new territory, right? Mental health is rapidly evolving. The needs of this generation in terms of taking care of their mental health are rapidly evolving. The solutions that we need to use are rapidly evolving. 100 years ago, no one was meditating for the sake of their mental health, but now we have these new tools. We have these new challenges like social media and online toxicity. And so as we sort of adapt to these new circumstances, we don't have all the answers at HG because no one has all the answers. These problems are new. So a big thing that we sort of very, very carefully focus on is taking feedback. And this is something that we actually pride ourselves in. HG has gotten to where we are today because of the feedback from our community. So I'll give you all just one simple example of this. In the past, I talked a fair amount about Ayurveda. Generally speaking, when I talk about Ayurveda, I talk about it more from a personality analysis standpoint. And as part of the support for Ayurveda, I cited a couple of scientific papers. 7 months ago, someone in our community made a post sort of questioning the veracity of the research that we were citing. And it turns out that they made really, really good arguments. So we talked about it on stream, addressed their criticism. Turns out that a lot of their criticisms were actually really good. And for the last 7 months, we haven't said a word about Ayurveda. Internally,
He sounds like a businessman right now. That's not what I'm here for. Okay. God, he's So the previous chapter about recap and approved IRB studies and notes on Ayurveda, right? I don't know anything about that. I'm sure it's like a research group or something, like a review group or something. I have no idea. But what I gathered from what he mentioned so far is I don't follow the formulas, therefore it's not therapy. I bet he's off the bed cave. Alright. Just so you guys know, Wave is coming on at 6. You're welcome to tune out until, maybe 7 minutes later. Yeah, sorry about the wait, Wave. Yeah, Betty's saying we can't cure issues because internet use is generally new. Maybe we should stop using the internet. Right. Right, so Flakes find it boring. Annie is saying shit advice maybe to someone. Scrolly. Hey, he's saying Ayurveda is Indian traditional medicine. Yeah, that's what he does, right? He incorporates the belief. What do you call him? The Hinduism? The Hinduism? Yeah, so he adds that on top of whatever treatment that he offers, right? He says, he's saying, I do stuff that anyone can do, just some of it is sometimes also used by clinical therapists. Yeah, that's a better summary, I think. Betty's here for Wave, okay, no problem. Right?
We're going through the process of reviewing a whole body of Ayurvedic research. My point here is that sometimes at HG we'll say particular things that we believe are correct, and we'll even do some research and we'll cite papers and stuff like that, but no scientific paper is perfect, and as members from our community will point out those kinds of things, we will absolutely adjust our behavior. So one of the things that we really value and hold ourselves to a very high standard about is actually accepting feedback from our community, which is really, really helpful and is actually really responsible for the impact that we've been able to achieve. The last thing that I want to mention is that the work that we do at HG is not in a vacuum. So like I sort of mentioned, before we even showed up on stream, we did a ton of research about what actually constitutes therapy, what actually constitutes the practice of medicine. And based on our research, that is how we decide what to do. As a simple example, the World Health Organization in 2020 released a report which sort of emphasized that mental health is in crisis. And one of the key interventions that they said is they said people need to be doing more peer support.
Shit, that was another thing that he mentioned about how people go through a producer and talk about, and then they start talking about like what to talk about and what not to talk about during the live stream. Right. So he does get consent out of every streamer that he guests, I guess, in his live stream. He did not do that with Rekful though. Rekful's interview was just spontaneous. It just happened because the chat told Rekful to like talk to Dr. K. And then they dug in to his actual like, you know, like no area. Yeah. If you're not a therapist, you shouldn't go there kind of area. And then the unaliving happened. He sounds like a boomer, probably. I don't know. I don't think he's a boomer though. Yeah, he is in the older generation though, compared to me. Right? Okay, we're getting there. Yeah, he's saying he incorporates some practices that he thinks might help people, but just now it sounds like he dialed back because of a legitimate critique.
That clinicians are sort of insufficient and we can't train them fast enough to meet the demands of what mental health needs are. So peer support is non-clinical intervention that supports mental health. And so it's because of calls like that that we've developed community support programs. It's because of calls like that that we've even developed our coaching program. So here at HG, what we're doing is not just like what we think is a good idea, but we regularly and consistently, since before we even showed up on stream for the first time, have been consulting with industry professionals, psychiatrists, professional organizations, talking to people, for example, like on the Council of Addictions, talking to people at the World Health Organization. We even recently had a collaboration with the United Nations. So what we do at HG, and this is a standard that we hold ourselves to, we recognize that we don't have all the answers. We recognize that like this is a new problem and that the best way to sort of tackle this problem in sort of a responsible way, in an ethical way, is to continually engage in dialogue with other professional organizations. So that's what we've done from the get-go. The next thing that I want to talk a little bit about is something that's a little bit more negative, and that's hate farming. So there's been an increasing and disturbing trend on the internet recently of people sort of being increasingly critical and essentially farming hate. And I want to talk a little bit about what we've learned sort of in terms of our platform and sort of the reach that we have and how we try to behave in an ethical manner.
This is the part that worries me the most, because this is where we're going to see how Dr. K sees the situation. This chapter is called Hate Farming. Right, so I want to know if he sees what's going on around him right now, the controversies, if he is taking that in as just an attack rather than a criticism.
I feel like I have a duty to use my platform for good. The unfortunate thing is that there are some people out there who will use platforms essentially for negative reasons. So they'll hate farm or criticize or things like that. And like I've said, we're actually completely open to criticism, assuming that it's sort of fair and based in fact and is well cited. So we're completely open to criticism and quite responsive to criticism like that. Unfortunately, what we're seeing on the internet is an increasing amount of like toxicity, right? Like we can all feel that the internet is becoming a more toxic place. And so what I'd like to do today is talk a little bit about how I've come to understand hate farming and sort of what goes into it. So the first thing to understand is that hate farmers usually are operating on an emotional level. And the main emotion that they sort of target is a vague sense of righteousness. So when you watch a video by a hate farmer, what you'll often find is that it's very emotional in nature, right? So it's going to have very powerful imagery. It may have sort of a very strong title, may have sort of a very powerful thumbnail. And as they sort of as they start to weave their narrative, like what you're going to be feeling is some sense of outrage or irateness or things like that. And the more that hate farmers kind of engage your emotions, right? Because that's what it's about making you angry. It's about making you grab your pitchfork. Let's all grab our pitchforks and down with the bad guys. That's sort of the emotions that they engage. What they're sort of doing by doing that is sort of ignoring any kind of like real criticism. So oftentimes there are different kinds of critical videos on the internet. Some are very well sourced, well cited, kind of offer balanced perspectives, and hate farmers usually won't have that, right? So they'll usually have some kind of narrative where they sort of will find a bunch of information on the internet. And this is where like it's challenging as a content creator because we probably streamed for well over 1,000 hours, and if you go through all of the content that we've done, you can stitch together basically whatever kind of narrative you want to. So a really good example of this, if y'all haven't seen it, is Dr. K interviews Dr. K, which is when someone takes clips of me and like stitches them together as if I'm having a conversation. So you can sort of clip things into context to weave whatever kind of narrative you want to. So the first thing to understand about hate farmers is that they work primarily on an emotional level and will really sort of encourage you to get your pitchforks out. They may make some kind of narrative argument which sounds very logical at the time, but this is where oftentimes what hate farmers do will come up with a priori arguments. And what does that mean? And that means that the judgment actually precedes the collection of evidence. So I'll go into a little bit more detail there. So oftentimes if you look at people who are critical and people who are hate farmers, they sort of assume guilt at the very beginning, right? So they haven't really done an objective investigation. Something has happened and they've sort of decided that you're guilty. And then something really tricky happens is that once they've decided your guilt, they'll start collecting information. The problem is that on the internet, search and the way that you collect information is going to probably reinforce your biases. So I'll give you a simple example of this. If I believe that the earth is flat and I, let's say, do a Google search for, evidence that the earth is not round, what I'm going to find is a bunch of evidence that actually already supports my conclusion. So you'll even see this with particular hate farmers. Well, they'll do things like they'll tweet out or they'll make public calls
like this so far.
stating a particular direction. So they'll say like, I'm going to make a video about X, Y, or Z and how, let's say, this person is taking advantage of people. And so what kind of response do you think that person is going to get? When I put a call out on Twitter or when I do a Google search in a particular direction, is COVID a hoax? What kind of response do you think I'm going to get? If I tweet out about saying, hey, I'm doing a video about, unreported side effects and bad consequences of getting COVID-19 vaccinations, what kind of information do you think that person is going to receive? So what hate farmers do is they come up with a conclusion and then they start collecting evidence, right? And I'm not so sure that they're doing this like insidiously and on purpose. Is it harmful? Absolutely. But I think that they sort of stumble upon some idea and then it actually shapes the questions that they ask. And once you shape the questions that you ask, you're going to shape the responses that you get. And this is precisely why if we
6 o'clock. Maybe I can rewatch this part later in my own time and see if I can see a different perspective. Right now, it just kind of sounds like Dr. K is mad, which is not the reaction that I was hoping for. So he's saying people are being misinformed about what he does. Okay. Wave time, everybody. Wave time. Wave time. Wave time. Hey, Wave. Wave? No. 6 o'clock is you time, my boy. Must be 9. I'm trying to be like you, my boy. Not sure how many people are familiar with the meme. Hi.
Hello, Hugh.
Hi. Here's Wave, everybody. Here's Wave.
That's what I'm not tracking. There's a reason. I do.
What's happening?
Nothing, just me talking to my roommate. That's
right.
All right.
So you currently live with a roommate. Oh, yep.
Yeah.
It's interview day, everybody. It's interview day.
What are you? Oh, also, everyone in chat who can hear me, happy Rubber Band playing Sunday.
So the Yu-Gi-Oh card actually exists?
Yes. His name is Speedroid Rubber Band Play.
Alright, so let's start off with what you're into. So you're into Dragon Ball, a lot of Dragon
Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh, and anything. Well, okay, that's not true. If you want truthful answers of what I'm into Dragon Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh, SCPs, Marvel, DC, power scaling, debating, females, and yeah, that's about it.
There you go. All right. Okay. So yeah, there's no introduction yet. Let's do that first, right? So you are Wave the Knight, infamously known as a debater.
See, you don't do it right. wave the night,
Uh-huh.
the fiction god, the one and only. Many people can try to be like me, but there is no me. There is only me. Hell, there's barely even me at this point.
Uh-huh. Oh, was there more to that?
No, that's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the entire monologue, your roommate's just listening to what's going on in the background.
Yes. My roommate hears shit worse than this every day. How long have you been putting up with my stupidity? For like the last 3 months? He has saved my life on several different occasions from making really stupid fucking decisions.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. It sounds like you have a good roommate, though, to, have to put up with that. That's nice. Okay. Right. So the reason why I decided to bring you in here is because I wanted to know more about you. Because I don't think we've done anything like this before, where we just sit alone together talking about shit, shooting shit. So yeah. Right now you're doing what? Explain it to me. Like
For like a job or for a hobby?
the job.
I'm in the Army. If you want to look up my MOS, it comes up as 14 Tango, which stands for Patriot Launching Missile System Enhancer, Operator, and Maintainer. But on reality, I don't do shit. I absolutely don't do anything all day. We open up connexes, lay things out, inventory it, put it back, go back to our barracks. I fuck around and play Yu-Gi-Oh! I fuck around on Twitch. I fuck around on Discord and make a lot of people hate me, but that's just what I live for.
Uh-huh.
And I do it all over again.
Right.
And now I'm on gate duty. I say hello to everyone. I say welcome to Fort Bliss in either English or Japanese and repeat the rest of the options all day, every day. That's just what I do.
Okay.
Exactly.
Right. It doesn't sound as harsh as, what it was in my head. So that's good.
Not at all.
Yeah.
The original impression the people have of the Army is gone. Like what the Army used to be is not here. Like
Right.
I've gone through basic twice. When the Army was originally a thing, most people couldn't make it through. Well, granted, most people can't make it through once now, but most people couldn't make it through once. I made it through twice, and the worst thing that happened to me was I got 2 grade 4 stress fractures. That was it. I was more high speed than most of the drill sergeants I had back in basic, who are supposed to be the high speed ones. The Army is not that hard. That's why when I have people back home who were telling me like they're struggling in life, I'm like, dude, just join the Army. They literally pay for your housing, your food, school, and everything else. All you pay for is your own entertainment. Literally, all I've paid for since I've been here is every Yu-Gi-Oh card I own, my TV, both microphones, my Xbox, and that's it.
Oh, you brought your Xbox, huh? Then you got your PC with you?
Yes.
And you get paid too, right? So you can buy new things?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yo, defense.
Defense?
They had me call a timeout. I just thanked them. So
Ignore the black man.
Oh, okay, I thought that was you. Right,
No.
right. That makes sense. Okay. See, when you say it's easy, I don't know if that's, by your standards or by everybody's standards. I feel like you're just hard
You
as
take the
fuck.
PT when you take the PT test here,
Uh-huh.
literally the minimum for your 2 mile is 20. What is it? The minimum for your 2 mile is 21 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm gonna point this out. My fastest 2 mile ever is 10:25. Now, if anyone wants to point out the fact that I'm 6'5", that legitimately has nothing to do with it, like at all.
I don't know, man. I mean, considering the limbs, you might have an advantage. Who knows? Okay.
Being 6'5" does not give me any advantage at all. Now, I will admit, in most things, height does help. In this, it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
One, I'm already clinically injured in both hips. I never let the stress pressures I had heal. I just kept being high speed through the pain because I didn't care. And now I literally have hip cramps out the random. Running is the worst feeling in the world. And yet I still continue to be better than everyone in my platoon, to where every time there's any form of physical event, my sergeants pick me before anyone else.
You must be diligent then.
Fucking course. I can't be the fiction god and then show up to the army and not be shit.
Okay. Right. So,
No.
was it you or him? I can't tell.
Cruz, shush.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Let him talk. Right. So yes. I wanted to see how you're doing, because last time you were dealing with some issues. I don't know if you want to open up about that, but
Look. All right, I know what you want to know, and I'm just gonna lay it out there. Up until like, what's today? Today for me is Sunday. Up until like Saturday night. Oh no. Up until like Friday evening, late Friday night, I was on the verge of killing. Wait, can I say this on stream?
Well, it depends, but yeah, go ahead. Just do it.
I was on the verge of killing myself every fucking day. Like, before joining the army, the original person of who I was a hard ass. I didn't give a fuck what no one said. I lived life not giving a damn about anything that moved. And then I made this is where everything started to fall apart. I made the conscientious choice to go to Job Corps and get a trade in security. That right there is when my life started to absolutely fucking spiral. I found people who actually enjoyed having me around. I found females who actually liked me. And I found people who wanted to continue to hang out with me all day, every day. That was the worst fucking thing that could have ever happened to me.
I was preparing myself for the worst, but
before that, back home, no one gave a damn about me. My own parents on day-to-day occasions told me I could fuck off and die in a ditch and they wouldn't give a fuck. I had two little brothers who absolutely, and still to right now, do not give a shit about what happens to me. And then I found people who actually gave a damn about what happened to me. Then I went from that space to where I am right now in the army, and everyone here doesn't give a damn about each other. They throw each other under the bus so quick. They're so fast to shoot you in the back the moment they get the first fucking opportunity. And me, at the end of the day, still being a normal fucking human being, developed actual fucking depression. Every fucking day was nothing but thoughts of me murdering myself and everyone else around me. Every fucking day. And then I realized something. What the fuck is wrong with me? I'm supposed to be one of the greatest hard asses ever born on this planet. I'm not supposed to give a fuck about what anyone thinks, because the only person I will ever need in life is me. No one is better than me. No one knows me better than me. And at that point, I realized the thoughts of committing suicide are for the weak. The thoughts of needing people around you are for the weak. The thoughts of actually finding someone who will love you for the rest of your life is for fucking morons. And now I'm here. I'm who I used to be again. And it feels fucking great. Granted, I've tried to kill 2 kids already, but that's beside the point.
Congrats, I guess. Okay, so when you said it was spiraling, right? You experienced good companionship while you were doing that security thing, right?
Yes.
Right. And that kind of pretty much ruined your standard of what to expect from people, I'm assuming.
Exactly. Because
Right.
my parents always told me the mindset I had back home of believing I would never find people who cared about me and no one would ever want to be beside me. I realized during that moment, well, during the like moments of in Job Corps, that they were right and I was wrong. And I was really hoping life was gonna stay like that. And then I came to the army and it fucking did it.
Hmm. What was the specific thing that made you feel like these people are good and they care about you? Like, do you remember a
How can
specific
I?
moment?
When I originally went to Job Corps, I was I was what I am now. I pretty much like didn't mess with anyone. You know, talking to people wasn't for me because the rest of y'all were irrelevant sons of bitches. You're not part of my who a high speed opportunity, so I don't need you around me. I was about to get jumped by 3 people, and my friends. I didn't consider them friends at the time. They were just my roommate, the guy I was stuck with, the girl who I thought was cute. I'm still a man at the end of the day. And her best friend all stepped in to help me. Well, I was about to kill those 3 guys. I won't lie. They were on the verge of dying. But they all stepped in to help me if I was really about to get into a fight. At that point, I realized, call me childish if you want. Call me childish if you want. But I realized that these people gave a damn enough to actually help me in a fight. Now, of course, my brother has helped me in a fight before, but 90% of the time, we stand there and watch each other get beat up. Even if it's 8-on-1, 10-on-1, 3-on-1, we don't care. We stand there and watch the other get beat up. That's kind of what we do.
Right. Okay. See, what I'm thinking about right now is how you grew up in an environment where I guess looking after yourself and not expecting help from other people is normal. I grew up spoiled. Yeah, I had my mother take care of me for, any kind of issue that I've had in my life, that I actually did grow up soft and I didn't know what to do when I became independent, right? To be honest, hearing your story, I don't feel like that's a bad thing anymore. And I'm trying to understand why. So wait, what is going on in your family that
Like right now.
no, I mean, like, how did you come out to be this, like what you are right now?
I realized that no matter how hard I tried, my father would never give a damn about the things I've done in my life. I realized that my mom's a spiraling idiot who's on the verge of just ending it all. I realized my 2 little brothers, people I held to be the closest individuals to me, would actually never give a damn about me no matter what I did for them.
What happened? I thought you guys were good. Like, live streaming and
No!
okay.
No, what you guys see on stream is just how we act towards each other. We can be cool, we can be calm, we can get along, we can do all that. But down deep below, if anything was to happen to either one of us, like let's say my parents called me right now and both of my brothers were dead, I wouldn't shed a tear. I wouldn't lose a lick of sleep. None of that. I do not give the minimalistic of a damn. And the same goes for them. If 2 of us die and John Quill found out, wouldn't give a damn. He'll still go on about his day like a normal nigga. If CJ found out me and John Quill died, he would do just the same. None of us truly give a damn about the other.
Is this how you've always felt, or is this how you felt after you
Yes.
left the house? Oh, okay.
This is how I've always felt.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's not like we haven't lost a sibling before.
Your sibling?
Of course I lost a sibling.
At what age?
What year is it? It's
2022.
2020. I'm always one day under the year. I was 7. No, I was 6.
Older or younger?
Younger. I'm the oldest.
Right. Okay. Yeah, like when it comes to these like experiences that involve siblings, I can't relate because I've never really had one, so yeah. Not even cousins actually, not around me at least. Like, I don't really know what to ask about that. I don't know if it affected you in any way.
If it did, I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, I think I would say the same if I was in your shoes.
Yeah, shit, bitch ass nigga.
God damn, crew.
Okay. Wow. Well, no wonder you come out hard-boiled. But you're enjoying your time now, are you?
Of course I am, because I'm a hard ass again.
But I don't think there's one event where, people have saved you and made you feel like they cared about you, made you soft. I feel like it's like a continuous thing that,
We are up by 50.
it's a thing that you soaked up and became soft because of.
Exactly. And I hated it. Now that I'm me again, I realize how much that fucking sucks. To have people who actually care about you, to have people actually look out for you, to actually rely on other people is horrible. No offense, Cruz.
The thought of the roommate just listening to this in the background. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking. I don't know why that would be a bad thing. Feeling vulnerable. Maybe is that how you felt?
Yes, 100%.
Right. Why is that bad?
Being vulnerable is for the weak. Having the fact that what people say and do can actually affect you is for people who weren't meant to live life here. Because I've always had a stance in life that, how can I explain this without being racist, sexist, and feminist all at the same time? I've had this stance that what people say to you should not matter at all. And I went against that by allowing what people said actually mean something to me. Now, before any of you make the comment, I'm a big, huge crybaby. No. I just get really fucking angry and the murderous thoughts begin to flow and I can't take them out because killing people is wrong. That's kind of how actual life works. And I guess going against the aforementioned stance that you shouldn't allow the words of other people to affect you. Like, that's literally what happened. I was on my gate duty shift and I gave the konnichiwa Fort Bliss and Yoko Soho welcome thing to some female. And she made a comment that 90% of the people at the gate don't understand some weak ass form of Japanese or some shit. And she pissed me off. And at that point, I realized, why do I give a damn about this dirty ass bitch's opinion? At the end of the day, I'm stuck here for 8 hours. I'm the one who's supposed to enjoy this fucking shift, and I'm going to do it my fucking way. And at that point, I realized, why do I give a damn about what anyone in this weak ass bitch thinks? I'm stronger and faster than 90% of my platoon. I can outrank most of my NCOs on my PT test. NCOs is like the leadership, the sergeants and the higher ups. So at this point, no one, and I mean no one, is touching me. I am still the high-ranking individual I was once before. All I have to do is fix this stupid-ass mental state of mine, and I did. And now I'm once again a hard ass who's better than everyone around him.
Clap, clap, clap. Yeah.
This game is so fucking.
Okay. Right. I got questions. I just don't know how to ask them. That's all. Oh man. So I get that. I get you're a hard ass. I get that. I get that. Yeah. You wanna stay tough. I wonder when you get to take a break though.
Never.
From all
because
the conflict.
If you let you never get away from the conflict because that's all life is. People are plotting to kill you 100% of the time. Like my roommate came through the door one day and we almost got into a fist fight.
Mm.
I am always 100% on my guard, believing that. I don't give a damn if I'm in a public space and no one's ever met me. I still 100% believe everyone in that room is still trying to kill me. That way I never let my guard down and I'm always prepared for the stupidest shit possible.
That sounds stressful. Is it not?
Yeah, the second the fact that
No, not at all. Well, maybe it is, and I've never noticed.
Hmm. Yeah, it could be that you're numb to that. Because you always felt it, probably. I don't know. What you're describing to me sounds like how I would describe my own anxiety. Like my own paranoia. But, I don't know. Yours is on a different level. Well, I mean, I would ask what that's like for you, but I think you've already explained enough, right? You think it helps you, does it not? Like you think yeah. Like not having to worry about, who's on your side, I guess.
Because no one's on your side, yes.
What don't you like about that idea though?
There isn't anything I don't like about it. I'm gonna be honest.
You don't like it because you might like it?
Hold on, I'm actually trying to think. Is there anything about this I don't like?
Like having someone on your side.
I mean, because I get the fact. Like, I did this shit recently. I was recently in a Discord server with people that I've been fucking with for damn near 3 years now. And I made one comment about retardation, and then I said the N-word, and they absolutely want nothing to do with me now. Now, if I was a normal individual who actually gave a damn about having friends, I guarantee you 90% of people would have absolutely fucking fallen apart over some shit like that. Me, I don't care because I have more people to be friends with.
I didn't accept. I accept. Sorry. If I'm following what you just said, because I was reading a little bit, so I was a little distracted. So this was happening where? Where was this happening at?
A Discord server with a bunch of people I've known for at least 3 years.
Right. Okay, but not in the army though. Like everybody else that you stick around. Okay.
No, fuck no. There's only one person. Well, no. There's only 2 people here in the army whose lives I'm ready to take. But I can't put that information out there like that.
Yeah, don't. Right. Okay. But you do have friends, yes? In
Yes.
where you at? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. That's good.
I will admit, the people here in the army are like some of the realest people possible. I won't even cap. Like my roommate. Okay, hold on. Before I say Cruz and Cruz, there's my roommate's a male. His name is Cruz. We have a friend who is a female. Her name is also Cruz. We have a friend. Well, I'm not gonna put everyone's name out there. Like that's a little weird. But basically, I have a bunch of friends here. Whenever I'm like in some shit, they'll do their best to look out for me. And at the end of the day, that's kind of cool. I'll admit it. Woohoo. People actually are trying to help me again. I still don't give a fuck. Because I know that if I was to ever meet you on the streets or in person, they wouldn't give a damn about my existence. The only reason they're trying to help me is because we're in the army together. If we weren't, they wouldn't give a damn. If it wasn't for the army, I wouldn't have met Cruz. Because you lived in what? Atlanta or some shit? My point's been proven. They're only helping me because of the circumstance we currently have. If we didn't have this current circumstance, they wouldn't give a damn about my existence.
Is the feeling mutual? Like, do you feel the same?
I mean, of course. If they need my help, I'm gonna help a boy out. If you need the shirt off my back, all the money in my pocket, I got you. But if the time ever comes down to it, well, I need to shoot your head off. 100%. No hesitation. Not a second thought in my mind.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Hmm.
Taking it, wait, okay. I feel like to make this easier for you to understand, take into consideration, I've almost killed both my brothers on 3 separate occasions.
I feel like you talked about this before in one of the after parties. Okay. Give us a refresher, actually.
On the 3 separate occasions?
Not all 3, but maybe one of them.
Okay. I was on the game. I have been on the game for about 48 hours now. I was going for mutations in art, and my brothers were fucking around. Now be mindful, the game auto saves. I'm just very, 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 very much of an angry individual. The game auto saves and all this. So the shit's that's important to mention because when they came in, they were fucking around and they fucked up one of the cables, and my game immediately turned off, and off the rip, hate starts flying. I've been up for like the past 48 hours and 48 and a half hours, going on 49 hours, and I'm fuming. I commenced to absolutely dogging the shit out of these boys. Like, I'm going for blood and I'm getting it. They're fighting back and it's just not doing anything. Throwing them around like it ain't shit. My mom came up front to try to help. She caught the 2-piece because I don't give a damn. The only thing that stopped me from killing them that very day was my dad came in the room and cut me down.
Huh.
I didn't even hear him come in the back. I'm gonna be real. I didn't even hear him come in the back door. As CJ pinned up against the wall, and I mean, I'm hitting for blood. I'm hitting nothing but face shots. I'm about to throw the last right to hit him in the motherfucking throat, and I feel my dad grab the back of my shirt. I feel my feet come off the ground, and I feel my back hit the hardwood floor. He puts his knee on my chest, telling me to calm down. I threw a punch and hit him in the chin. He hit me in the nose, and I don't remember much after that. All I remember is waking up on the floor.
Like gamer rage. Damn. Okay. Huh. All because of a game, huh?
Yeah.
Right. Give us your happiest moment.
In life?
Yes.
I don't know if I can put this out on stream because of who's in chat.
Well, who does this involve then?
I don't know if I can put this out on stream like that.
Okay. What can you share about your happiest moment then?
Basically, all I'll say is I found an individual who I actually like, and conversating with her one day was the happiest moment I ever had. Now, does that side make me sound like a weak little imp? Yes. Do I give a damn? No.
All right. So, if it is who I think it is, oh man.
Okay, since chat can hear me, I'm going to point this out. As much as I would love for it to be you, Betty, it's not you.
Oh, thank fuck. Oh my goodness. Okay. Right. No, because Betty's taken, so
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
That's much better.
I've already gone down that rabbit hole.
All right, so you've spoken to this person, made you feel good about it, probably, right?
Yes.
Right.
The fact that she's an absolute asshole.
So, oh, I don't know where to go next. So, this is infatuation? That's what we're talking about? We're in love?
Oh, I'm over it now.
Oh, you're over it now?
Of course. She has somebody else. I gotta get over it eventually. Fucks to be given.
Okay. And you've never experienced something similar any other time in your life?
Yeah, but she said no too, and I move on with my life.
Why do you think you get a no?
I'm a 6'5" unappealing black man, and all I do all day is read and debate fiction that no one gives a damn about, except the very niche amount of people I can find. I say niche, and we had like damn near 50 people in the last call.
So what you just explained to me, I can tell that you have a passion, right? And your physique, which is 6'5", right? That's a selling point, right? Unappealing though, I think that's very subjective. I think a lot of people who like someone doesn't really focus. Maybe if you're a man, you focus more, but I think for ladies, they don't really focus on the appearance too much. I think that only affects the first impression. Not that I know what I'm talking about, because I have a penis.
One, I am the most shittiest individual you will ever meet. I'm an angry fuck who tells 90% of people to fuck off and do better with their life. I don't give a good first impression.
Right. What is your idea of unappealing then?
Someone who absolutely makes it unappealing. Oh, wow. Hold on. This requires a deeper definition than the bullshit I was about to give you. Hold on. What do I describe as unappealing? Okay. So, I guess now toxicity, I'm not going to say I find unappealing because that's, I'm going through it right now. I'll put that much out there. But to be honest, I don't know.
Unappealing, huh?
I mean, there's nothing. The only thing I'll ever find unappealing about someone, I would say, is the way someone looks. Because personality means a lot. Like, I know I'm finna make the statement that personality means a lot to me, but I just gave the statement that looks is what can ruin a relationship for me. But I can accept just about anyone's personality. Like, if the bitch walked in and told, wow, okay, hold on. If the girl walked in and told me that she was just okay with shoving her own poop back up her ass and eating it for dinner, and that's just her personality, I'd be okay with that. She's not getting a kiss from me. She's for damn sure not getting a hug.
Wait,
but I could accept that being part of her personality.
Okay. But is that a girlfriend material, or where are we going with this?
Absolutely. Like, if she's into me and some part of her personality that I have to just like one piece of your personality. I don't have to like all of it. You could watch anime and enjoy Dragon Ball, and that's probably gonna be enough for me, to be honest.
Okay, so you do have some requirement.
Okay, I do have 5 requirements. Well, I have 5, maybe 6 requirements for a female. 1, she has to be either my height or shorter. Now, is there anything wrong with a taller woman? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you're taller than me, oh, by all means, I'll eat that up even more. It's just being 6'5", not many women break that threshold. I'm not trying to make fun of females. It just doesn't happen. 2, she has to like dogs. Now, because I really fucks with dogs. Like, that's like dogs, wolves, those are like my favorite types of animals. So you gotta fuck with a dog. You gotta want a dog. You don't have to want one, but if I was to ever get a dog in our relationship, I need you to be cool with it. That's all that matters. I'm a fiend, right? Number 3, she has to be either white or Asian. Now, that again, that's not a main criteria, like must happen type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's just my preference. It's like if someone tells you they prefer white cheese over yellow cheese, that's just my preference.
The fucking example.
I hate you.
Oh man. What even is white cheese? What's white cheese?
You know, some shit I made up.
Oh, I'm dying. Fuck. Okay, yeah. So it's a preference. Yeah, yeah. So no shame in that. Okay, so fourth.
Okay, number 4. She has to like. She doesn't have to like enjoy exercising. She just has to enjoy like being in shape. Now, if I go for a run every day, I'm not expecting her. Now, I'm getting up early in the morning. I'm going for a run every day. Like, taking into consideration for this stream, I got up yesterday at what time did I get up yesterday evening? I got up yesterday evening like 11:30, and I figured you would stream today, and I have not been back to sleep since then. I stayed up purposely to be sure that I did not miss your stream. So it's like, if I get up early in the morning, I don't expect her to be high speed and get up and come right behind me. No. She ain't gotta fuck around and try to be the best at everything like I'm trying to be physically. She just has to have a certain drive to look. I'm trying not to say this where it sounds like everything I want is based on appearance, because it kind of is. But she just doesn't have to want. I just don't want a woman who's physically unfit. I don't need somebody we go run a mile and I'm carrying you back to the house. That right there is unappealing. Physically unfitness is very unappealing to me. There you go. There's one. She has to be some form of physically fit. And number five is very subjective, because number 5 is literally, she has to like me back. Now, is that a stupid qualification? Yes. Do I give a damn? No.
I think that's the most important part, and that's great. You nailed it.
Bro, how?
That's my question. How?
Hmm?
How did I nail it?
Like, knowing that the other person likes you back is possibly the most important element in a relationship. Like, in regards to like you looking for a fit woman, I think that is a fair preference, in my opinion. Like, you don't want a person who is like on a verge of self-destruct. You know, whenever they stress out, they start eating, and that becomes like the habit, the continuous habit, and eventually, you know, they're gonna have all kinds of health problems. And I don't like sticking around if it's a relationship. Yeah, I don't like sticking around with people who doesn't look after themselves. So I think that's fair to say. I get what you're saying, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, the last part I think is very key, because that also means you respect the other side. Like, that's what it shows me, I guess, when you say that.
I'm going to point out the reason for the last criteria is not for the vagueness that it sounds. The reason I pointed out that criteria is because I've been on the internet for a fucking while. And I've seen a lot of things, IRL and on the internet. And a lot of people end up in relationships where they kind of just settle. Like, she'll pick him because he likes her and she doesn't believe she can find anyone else. She doesn't actually like him. She just chose him because he's there. I don't like the thought of that. I don't like the thought of me liking a female and she chose me just because I'm there. She has to actually like me. She has to actually care about me. Now, I know I gave off a lot of bullshit about caring earlier. I don't expect her to walk out here and take a fucking bullet for me. If I'm getting beat up by 8 dudes, I don't expect her to jump in and have my back. Quite frankly, she can stand there and laugh if she wants. I don't care. All I need for her is to What am I trying to say?
I feel like I know where this is going, but I want you to say it.
I don't know where this is going, to be honest.
I think it's really important if you say what you actually feel about this.
I need her to be there for me, I think is the group of words I'm looking for. Think.
I like that. Yeah, I really like that. I really like that. I think the message that what you said provides goes in very deep.
Because I still don't understand the shit I just let out of my mouth.
That means it's coming out of you naturally, so that's even better, actually. Hmm.
I'm happy you understand.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna since I can see that they're not in chat based on the shit that I'm saying and watching this weird ass movie, I'm going to point out to you guys. Don't tell anyone. But the female who gave me the great experience of my life was Flakes. There you go.
I think that's a good place to end it. Thank you very much for making an appearance on the live stream. I thought that was great. I thought that conversation went really well, in my opinion. So that's your ideal, is it? I'm just trying to wrap this up. God, why is it so hard to mention her name now after you said it? So yeah, that's the kind of woman you're looking for, I guess.
Yes.
Is a type that could fire back, I guess. I don't know what you're exactly looking for, but yeah.
Oh, fucking lootly. I need me a woman with attitude and rage in her soul. I need me a woman to where if somebody walks up to her and says, I want to fight, she will absolutely put hands on them. I don't need me some girl who gonna reach for her taser, reach for her man. I'm not granted. If the guy is 6'5", weighs 300, no, my dad weighs 430. If the guy is 6'5", weighs 430 pounds, and is a prior trained Marine, do what you gotta do and shoot big guy down. Because I can tell you from personal experience, trying to fight a nigga made like that is not easy and it's kind of impossible. So do what you gotta do and shoot a brother like that down. But when it's a guy like my height and I only weigh 180 pounds, she square up and tell him, let's go. I'm about to put you in the dirt. And then she puts hands on him. I'm telling you right there, I'm going to get the fattest hard on of my life watching her whoop his ass. And then in that situation, see him hit my woman. I'm going to break every limb he has. I'm going to snatch his penis off and feed it to him before I choke the very life out of him with my bare hands. I'm going to make his death slow and painful.
I can feel the passion, yes. Well, okay. I'm glad I asked. I'm glad we had this conversation. And I want nothing but the best for you. I feel like I understand you better now after this. I'm glad. Yeah, thank you very much for coming on. I have to go to work soon, so I have to wrap this up. Yeah. So I'll catch you in wherever, Wave. Just know that I appreciate you. Okay?
That's a little weird considering you have a penis.
That's right. I'm being gay right now. Okay? Alright, look after yourself. Alright, see you around. And I think movie night is currently happening in our Discord server. If you guys wanna sit through some of Animal Crossing movies, you're welcome to join Speak. I don't know why they're in Speak, to be honest. Didn't listen work? Right. Oh, welcome back in, Moimas. We just got done with a different conversation, but yeah, we're also able to go back to that as well. 5 to 6 long outbreaks. It's supposed to be like for every 30 minutes. Oh no, not every 30 minutes. Every you know when the clock hits 30. Not every 30 minutes, but when it's like 5:30 and 6:30, that's when the ad break starts. Yeah. sorry, I don't know how to explain that properly. Right. Every bottom of the hour. Yeah. So it's spaced out within an hour. So last time I had it in every 15 minutes, and that seemed to have bothered a lot of people. So I decided to move that. Yeah, I'm just trying to get paid. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to tell you. Yeah. I don't know why it started at 45, and it's like 3 minutes long, right? It should be like yeah. It should begin from 30 minutes in, and then 1 hour later there's going to be another ad. Might be closer to 2. Weird. Right. We had a new person joining while we had Wave in the conversation, right? And Caro joined in as well. Boris ABC, is it? Very UK. No, I'm sure it's a name from another country. Yeah, and hey, I've been seeing your messages, but I wasn't responding because, you know, I wanted the guy to talk, you know? Yeah, the guest. So, yes. Now you have my full attention. Here I am. Yeah. So, Caro, nice to have you back. Nice to have you join us again. Moemasu is also in here. Has a very strong opinion on Mr. Girl. You know, I thought he made a good point. I thought what he has displayed in his video about Dr. K was, you know, he made his point, in my opinion. Right? And he's saying, yeah, it seems like average 15 seconds, maybe the occasional 30 seconds. Yeah, I have no idea. What if it's like the Twitch automatic one that is like overlapping with the ads that I've set up? It's not 15 minutes, is it? Not every 15 minutes? If it's not, then I don't know. I have no idea. Moemasu is saying, I'm supposed to have a conversation with one of my podcast co-hosts about this, but that would be like an hour conversation. Can you link your shit? rather than just mentioning it and like me not knowing where to go with that. Link your shit. Give it to me. So that I can actually hear you speak as well. Yeah, I'd be happy to check it out. If it's like a podcast, then, you know, I can listen to it while I'm working. Right, hey, saying, I think I've been here a bit over an hour and only seen 2 ad breaks. You shouldn't see 2, dude. Oh wait, you should. Huh. Yeah, I'll look into that. Yeah, it shouldn't be as frequent as you getting it every like 30 minutes though. That'd be very awful. Right. So yeah, Masu is saying, I took like a page worth of notes going over Mr. Girl's video and few interviews he did after. Oh, we're not gonna record it. Was just gonna be offline discussion. I thought it was a podcast. Oh, is it not? Next topic is gonna be Lolicon, but I'm still doing research on it. Gotta finish this book first. Okay. Right. So you don't have anything to link. Okay. No worries. You said podcast, so I thought maybe that's just my Zoomer talking. Right. Offline conversation with. Oh, okay. 5 episodes out? Oh, so you do have some podcast? Wait, How are you gonna do? How are you gonna do like offline conversation and call that a podcast? I don't know. I don't know what podcast is anymore. I guess. Okay. Whatever. Yeah. So cool. Okay. So yes. Oh, it's not for the podcast. Wait, didn't you say that it was for the podcast? No, you were supposed to have a conversation with. Okay. I'm dumb, Moemasu. I am the stupid. Okay. I am the dumb fuck. Don't worry about that. Okay. Yeah, Karo's on the right track. There we go. All right. Checking this out. Shout out to his family. All right. ARC podcast, everybody. Where's the first episode? You'll earn your subscription after I check you out. Oh my god!
Salutations and greetings, everyone. Welcome to
And this is a Discord, over the Discord podcast. Let's check it out later. Yeah. Alright. So yes, at 7 o'clock though, I have to leave. I got work. I'm getting paid. And I work every day. Alright, Jelly's awake. Good morning. Alright. Wait, was that you? That was Masu? Yes. Oh, it wasn't? Okay. Alright. Yeah, from what I heard on Dr. K's side though, it's a little it was like, so far it was very much of like, look over there kind of thing. And also, yeah, if you think I'm doing something wrong, this is how you do things wrong, and I am not doing any of this, is what I'm gathering from Dr. K's explanation right now. Right, so yeah, Karo, there's a YouTuber called Mr. Girl. He is very angry with a psychiatrist streamer, Dr. K, who streams on Twitch and interviews a lot of streamers, right? And what that YouTuber is saying is this guy is conducting a unethical therapy session that is made public for people to see. Am I skipping out on anything? And he should not be a doctor, is what Mr. Girl is saying, I think. Right. Yeah, I gotta go soon. I can't sit for a conversation. But you're welcome to join me next time. Huh? Why? Oh, I still have coffee. Jelly wanted my cup. Yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah. Please join next time. Yeah, when we have more time. He's saying, how else is Dr. K supposed to show that he's not doing something though? It's hard to prove the absence of something. Let me reread that because nothing went in my head. Supposed to show that he's not doing something. Well, what he's not doing is giving therapy sessions, right? That's what he's saying, right? He's pointing out what would be wrong to do, then showing that that's not his action. Yeah. So he's showing that he's not doing therapy session. Yeah, that's what he's trying to do. Fascinating. Right, so Karo, next time, probably tomorrow, probably next day, around the same time. I start from 5 o'clock now. Ends at 7 because I'm trying to wake myself up. Like the first hour is usually me, slowly trying to wake up, and the next hour is better. Like, as you can see. So yeah, 2 hours ago is when I usually start. Now. Directed by Alex MTZ is asking, which 3 movies best describe you and your personality? Kung Pao, Enter the Fist. Oh god, I was thinking of like the first 8 minutes of Up, but That's not the entire movie, so I don't know. I like Kung Pao the most. What's the other movie that I really like? Grave of the Fireflies? And Spirited Away. Yeah, those are the movies that I frequently watched. Yes. And I like a lot. Hay was suing. Hay was suing. Yes. Right. So Hay was saying the accusation is that he's doing unethical therapy sessions, or is it that he's causing negative consequences even though it's not therapy abuse? That he should know how to avoid. Anyway, I think you would enjoy his interview with Sasha Grey. All right. So Sasha Grey. Just in case I forget, Sasha Grey. Dr. K. Right? I don't think I've seen this. No, I have not.
So you have a unique
Is this the
cognitive
one?
fingerprint, which
It's only one interview, isn't it?
that you juggle a lot of balls.
Juggle
I
a
guess
lot of
that you
balls.
get pretty
Okay.
excited.
Right, so we'll check that out. I'll check that out. Right, so directed by Alex is saying if there's a room filled with every person you've ever met in your life, alive or not, who would you look for? My grandpa, I guess. I don't know. Or my dad, maybe. I don't know. Right, so Karo is calling me a masochist because I like Grave of the Fireflies. I feel like it has a really strong message, and also the emotion is strong. That's why I like it. I bet he's calling me Depressive. Yeah. I mean, of course I would like those movies. Emotion. I love... You know, I sign up for the emotional damage. Right, he's saying, yeah, I look for it real quick, easy to find. Yeah, that's the one. I will link it, except how easy it is to find. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. And I'm gonna finish this as well. Ethics by Mr. K, Dr. K. Soon to be Mr. K, probably. I hope not, though. I can't talk right now. I don't wish for the worst for Dr. K. Wait, are people on the internet that I have met are in the room? Whomst? Oh, alright, the example that Alex was giving us. Yeah. Yeah, it would be my grandpa or my dad. I want to find out more about that side, because I know very little of it. Yeah, other than that... A person that I've ever met? I want to apologize to that neighbor, this grandma, that while I was playing hide and seek, I really wanted to pee so bad, and I decided to just let it be, you know, pee on at least something, and it just happened to be her bicycle just outside of her house, because I was hiding in front of her front door. And yeah, as soon as she opened the door, I got scared and I ran away. But I never really apologized. So I want to meet her again and say sorry. So yes, Masu is back in. I have to go. Now that Masu's back, I have to go. Oh, sorry, I didn't welcome in Guro yet. I did see you come in. I just didn't say anything back, unfortunately. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Wave was around, so... Yeah, blame Wave. Okay, I'm going. Movie night is happening in the server, Discord server. The link is in the description. Not description, what do you call them? The panels, right? You can tell that I'm a YouTuber. Right, anyways, Hey, he's saying maybe she would appreciate that, but I hope she has moved on. Yeah. Wait, what do you mean by move on? Wait, you mean she... I hope she's not she's probably gone. Yeah, she was pretty, you know, old. Right, anyways, yeah, I could have peed anywhere else, but I needed a target, and I chose her bicycle. Alright, okay. I'm going. Bye. Catch you guys next time. Don't die. Stay alive. For those who love you, will love you in the near future. Love with me in the next. Love with me? Love with me in the next stream. I can't talk anymore. Oh yeah. Shout out to my boy. There you go. Host. Do it. The fuck? Well, anyways, yeah, catch you all next time. I appreciate you all for being here. For some reason, the thing that I want to do is not currently doing at the moment, so I might just stop streaming. So yeah, see you tomorrow maybe. Bye.